Today we're hearing the end of the Gospel of St. Mark, and we kind of have a surprise here. We keep hearing how the apostles hear Jesus is risen, but they don't believe. They don't believe Mary Magdalene. They don't believe necessarily the two that walked to the village of Emmaus, what we would call maybe Easter Sunday evening. And yet, Jesus commands them, go out. He rebukes them because they have a hardness of heart. In other words, they really haven't opened themselves fully to what the Lord desires for them. And as a result, he challenged them. These are the last words in the Gospel of Matthew. After this, it's over, so to speak. He tells them, go into the whole world and proclaim the gospel to every creature. And so if you had been reading this and you didn't know the rest of the story, you might think this is a sad ending. But then we hear the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles about Peter and John, who are going to the temple every day, 3 o'clock, just as they had been doing before. And now they're not just listening, now they're speaking about Jesus risen. And now you're hearing they're not holding back. They've been, you might say, arrested by the Jewish religious leaders, and they're challenged. Don't do this again. You'll be arrested again. And they say, how can we not? For it would be impossible for us. And for you and me, as we listen to this today, there's a great lesson for here. We know sometimes it's not always easy to believe in God. It's not always easy to believe that He's really guiding us through our lives. It's not easy when things go so wrong, as we heard Jesus crucified and buried. For the apostles, they thought that was the end. They didn't realize that was the beginning of what God was going to reveal in Jesus risen. And so this morning, I just invite you to be aware in your own heart, where even as it says, do we have that hardness of heart, or do we just keep opening it, not necessarily knowing how and where God is going to be showing us in such an extraordinary way or an ordinary way His love and care for us.